Hi, my name is Sherishara Wilson, MS2501329113. I'm going to explain about the background of SM Camp Damit. SM Camp Damit is one of the unique rural schools located in Limbang, Sarawak. It's approximately 71 kilometers from Limbang town. SM Camp Damit currently serves 660 students with the support of 49 dedicated teachers. And SM Camp Damit also known as a cultural school. Their achievement mostly winning the cultural competition. For example, they win a Tarian Tugu Budaya competition in Sabah in 2017. Next, I'm going to talk about importance of sociology in education. It has 6 importance. First is sociology in education studies how society affects learning and schooling. Second, it helps teachers design relevant curricula based on social needs. Third, support inclusive classroom by understanding social diverse background. Fourth, addresses social conflict through education and promotes social justice. Fifth, prepares students to live independently and become responsible persons for future. Sixth, gets meaningful research and ensures education reflects real-world values. The last part of introduction is I'm going to talk about purpose of school improvement plans. School improvement plans is to enhance school quality, effectiveness, and equity of the school. Sharvitz and Bosfield said it helps reduce educational inequality across socioeconomic, ethnic, and gender lines. It also promotes social cohesion, national unity, and cultural understanding. Not only that, it also supports community development by building trust and strong social network. Last, get school towards better students' outcome, inclusive practice, and effective teaching.
Hello everyone, my name is Nur Ainun binti Rahim. My metric number is MS2410315535. In this presentation, I will highlight key challenges faced by SM Camp Damit, a rural secondary school in Limbang, Sarawak. The school is struggling with multiple interconnected issues, including poor ICT infrastructure, low English proficiency, transportation difficulties, peer pressure, limited diversity awareness, and high dropout rates. These problems create a cycle of disadvantage which seriously affect both student achievement and the overall development of the school. To improve the situation, we identify several critical areas that need attention. First, the school needs better ICT facilities and stable internet to support modern teaching. Secondly, transportation problem must be addressed to reduce absenteeism. We also suggest improving student support system like counseling and mentorship. In addition, schools should promote diversity and inclusion through structured programs. All these improvements are interconnected. They need a holistic approach, not isolated solutions. Why are these improvements important? Well, students without access to ICT lack the digital skills needed in today's world. Poor transportation leads to irregular attendance, which increases the risk of dropping out. Students who drop out are less likely to succeed economically, and the community suffers in the long term. Also, the lack of diversity education can cause social division, and when peer pressure and discipline issues are not managed, it leads to risky behavior and weak academic performance. performance. These problems are not only about the school, they reflect deeper issues in society. Using a sociological lens help us see how these challenges are rooted in social and economic inequalities. So, instead of blaming students or teachers, we must understand the bigger picture to create effective solutions.
Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Hasha Farhana binti Ahmad, number metric MS241031418. I'm going to present you about the root causes of the problem. We conducted a survey by using Google Form and sending it to one of the teacher in SMK Medamit, Limbang, Sarawak. Based on the teacher's response, there are several core issues that can be identified which can affect the school effectiveness or environment and the student outcomes. For us to identify the root causes of this problem, it is essential to analyze the themes and contextual challenges highlighted in the data. One of the major root causes is the limited access to educational materials and resources. There are multiple responses pointing to a lack of learning tools and IT facilities, which directly impact the quality of teaching and learning. This shortage is particularly critical in rural settings where schools often face lack of budget and infrastructural limitations. The condition of the IT lab and school transportations that are sometimes reliable also restrict students' opportunities for digital learning and regular attendance. Next, socioeconomic pressure also can be defined as the root cause of the problem. This is because responses indicates that student absenteeism and dropout rates are influenced by household responsibilities and financial stress or poverty. These factors show that many students come from low-income families in rural area where education may not always be their top priority, especially when children are expected to take care of their siblings or need to contribute to their family income. In addition, language development, particularly in English, also emerges as a concern due to the limited exposure outside the classroom. This shows a lack of language-rich environments, which is common in isolated rural school. This problem highlights that students may have few opportunities to practice English in real-life context, especially in their daily conversation. To sum up, the root causes at SMK Medamit revolve around the limited access to educational materials, socioeconomic pressure, and environmental limitations. Addressing these issues require targeted interventions, including increased funding, community support programs, and initiatives to enrich the school educational resources and infrastructure. Ethical consideration must also be given to student background to ensure an inclusive and equitable education for all.
Talk about how this issue affect learning. Without proper ICT, teachers cannot use interactive or tech-based methods. Students lose access to information and chance to explore on their own. When students are often absent, they fall behind and lose motivation. A lack of exposure limits their ambition, and peer pressure or lack of diversity awareness creates a poor classroom environment. In short, these problems lower the quality of education. We apply three sociological theories to better understand the situation. Firstly is functionalism, shows that if schools don't provide equal opportunities, they fail in their role of supporting social mobility. Secondly, conflict theory explains how unequal access to education reinforces class division. And thirdly is symbolic interactionism, shows how daily experiences shape student identity. For example, if students are not encouraged, they may believe they are not capable of succeed. These theories help us see how structure, inequality, and social interaction all impact student outcomes.
For the intervention strategies, these intervention strategies aim at addressing the challenges identified in SMK Madamit, come with a focus on holistic school improvement. The strategies are designed to consider the diverse needs of students, teachers, and other stakeholders within the rural school context. The overview of the purpose strategy is the purpose of the proposed intervention strategies is to create sustainable, equitable, and inclusive improvements in SMK Madamit by directly addressing the core challenges identified through the teachers' feedback we got from the survey. And these strategies aim to enhance teaching and learning condition, especially in a rural context with limited resources. Poor infrastructure, and low socioeconomic status. Besides that, by focusing on equitable access to learning materials, strengthening student support system, and promoting the participation in co-curricular activities, the intervention strategies help to create a more supportive and responsive educational environment. On the other hand, the strategies emphasize the importance of community collaboration and enhancing language development to support holistic student growth. Eventually, the strategies have a goal in order to build a school culture which empowers involvement of stakeholders with students, teachers, and family so that they can achieve educational success together. For the first strategy, we can improve the access to learning materials and infrastructure. The second strategy is supporting at-risk students through addressing student absenteeism and dropouts. The last but not least, annual English special day to enhancing English language exposure.
Hello everyone, my name is Joy Belpetichimiko and today I want to tell about information plan to guide information team in developing a plan for information across the focus stages such as exploration, installation, initial information, and full information. The information should be collaboratively developed by the information team together with community, partners, and members of the focus population who will have a role in information of selected program of practice. Next, today I want to talk about 5.1 about stakeholders, roles, and responsibility. 5.1.1 Students are at the heart of the educational process. Their responsibilities include classes, complementing assignment, actively participating learning, and striving for academic and personal growth. 5.1.2 Parents are partners in their children's education. They are responsible for their children's learning at home, communicating with the teachers, and advocating for their children's needs. Lastly, 5.1.3 Teachers are responsible for delivering quality instruction, creating a positive, engaging learning environment, assessing students' progress, and collaborating with other stakeholders. Move to 5.2 Timeline for implementation. The timeline must be compute partial plan that incompletely specify the theory. That is, they may be parts of planning horizon where the value of the variable is constrained. The paper examines how different assumptions on the commitment made by planners influence the computational complexity of determining these histories and responding to required. Lastly, 5.3 Potential challenge and solution. It is widely recognized that higher education fails to meet the needs of students and employers. While the cost of education and student debt increase rapidly, aim to tackle issue in innovative way and structure. Review combined with recommendation for best practice. Especially, we aim to identify and stomach these higher education failures based on current scholarship proposed solution and identify institution of higher learnings that have started successfully this solution into practice. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, today I will briefly present the assessment and evaluation component of our school improvement plan at SMK Medamit. Let me begin with the purpose of this section. Assessment and evaluation are essential to the determine whether our school improvement effort work. Okay, so at SMK Medamit, our focus is on academic achievement, consistent attendance, and the active and the active involvement of both student and teacher. The systematic evaluation, we aim to make evidence-based improvement that rise the overall quality and education. Now, moving on the method of assessment to ensure continuous progress. SNK Medamit has introduced long-term action, research, and innovation programs. These strategies support a student-centered learning approach, this allowing teachers to adapt and engage students more effectively. As a result, we expect to see better academic outcome and a more active learning environment. Okay, next, let's look at the indicator of success. We measure success by tracking student performance in national exams such as SPM, especially in core subjects like English, Malay, and mathematics. Additionally, consistent attendance from both student and teacher is a key indicator of engagement. Participation in co-curricular programs like the language, carnival, and community activities also show our progress toward school goal. And lastly, I will explain the tools and instruments we use for evaluation. We utilize various tools such as assessment form, scoring rubrics, and monitoring schedule. Innovative strategy like the puzzle chart, mnemonic method, and the POM technique help exchange understanding in subject like mathematics. We also emphasize student reflection, self-assessment, and continuous feedback to support individual learning growth. These tools provide teachers with real-time data to adjust their methods and improve learning outcomes.
In my part this time, I'm going to talk about the conclusion. First, the conclusion of reflection, benefits, and limitation of sociology in education. The benefit of sociology in education is it provides a framework to study and address educational inequality like unequal access to resources. The limitation is faces methodological challenge such as a sensitive data collection and lack of practical solution. So the conclusion is sociology offers insight into education, interact with society. It also promotes awareness, reflection, and social responsibility, even if solutions aren't always straightforward. Next, I will talk about the conclusion of alignment with learning outcomes. Learning outcomes focus on how social factors shape educational experience. Applying theories like functionalism, conflict theories, and symbolic interactionism strengthen the understanding between students and teachers. The conclusion here is, by integrating theory and social issues, it will ensure your work meets sociology in education objective. The last part of me, I'm going to conclude about key takeaways in sociology of education. First, school reflects society. School is not just a place to study, but a place to where values and norms are enforced. Second, social class impacts education. As we can see nowadays, wealthier students often have more support, while lower income students face more barriers. Inequality in race, gender, and culture affects students' outcomes and must be addressed through inclusive practice. Theoretical views. Functionalism and conflict theory. Functionalism is about education maintains social stability, while conflict theory is education reproduce class and power inequality. The conclusion here is education can be both tool for opportunity and a means of control. Not only that, schools shape who we are and reflect broader social inequalities. That's all from me. Thank you.